Is your kid addicted to their cell phone? Well, if they're not addicted to their cell phone, you are a unicorn. Most parents have no clue how to give a cell phone to their kid and not set them up for addiction. A lot of us try. We try different things. We read books. We listen to podcasts. But there's something very basic that you can do to make sure your kid doesn't ever get addicted to their cell phone. And also, I give a little advice for those parents who might have given their cell phone to the kid a little too early. Maybe your life was a hot mess. Maybe you weren't going through the best time of your life and you just didn't have time to be an adult all the time. Well, if you want to make up for all those guilty feelings, I shouldn't have given my kid a cell phone too early, this episode's for you.
Do not confuse this with treatment or mental health advice or direction. Nothing on this podcast is made to supplement or supersede the relationship and direction of your mental health caretakers. Although David Kozlowski is a licensed marriage and family therapist, he is not functioning as a certified mental health professional in this environment. And same applies to any professional who may appear on the OG Therapy podcast. Welcome to the OG Therapy.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of OG Therapy, and I got another parent question for you. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this question, but it has to do with something with fighting with their teenager about their cell phone, and for some reason the teenager doesn't think they're addicted, but this parent, they're wondering if they are. So here's the question. How do I help my kid not be addicted to their phone? He is 12 and I gave him a phone at 10. We're constantly fighting about it. Do you see that this is a real addiction or just typical teens fighting with their parents? Okay, so first of all, thanks for the question. Second of all, it's both. Parents have always fought with their teens over possessions that the teens wanted because if the parents know that they have some sort of leverage, like an Xbox or a car, a cell phone, they know that they can get the teens, or they hope they can get their teenager or their kids to do things that they want them to do, like a little carrot in front of them. The problem with the cell phone is that that's not your average carrot. That's a super carrot. That's a carrot from a different planet. It's a spaceship carrot. And what I mean by that is you guys don't need me on a podcast to tell you how addictive cell phones are. And you definitely don't need me to tell you how it's easy to just get lost in the sauce on your cell phone. And one moment you think you're just on there for a few minutes. The next moment it's like the sun's coming up and you stayed up all night long. So everybody knows it's addictive. Everybody knows that it's a big chance. There's a good chance you can be fighting with your kids about the phone. One thing that I think is important, I don't want to throw shade on this mom, but she did say she gave the cell phone at 10 years old to the kid. If you're one of those parents listening to this and you've given your son or daughter, whatever, a cell phone at 10 or even earlier, and you feel bad about it, good. I mean, you should feel bad about it, but I don't mean that you should feel bad about it to make you believe that you can't do anything about it and you're a bad parent. I'm just saying you should feel bad for it because you should feel bad for it the same way that I felt bad for eating 12 pieces of Calbee barbecue Korean ribs this weekend when I should have just had 4. Okay, it's not the type of bad that can't be undone, but it is going to take some hard work and it's going to take discipline as the parent. The biggest challenge that parents have with this is not wanting their kids to be mad at them and not wanting their kids to cause problems in the household, disrupting the normal day-to-day functions. And also, sometimes parents feel guilty because their lifestyle and their life choices has made it difficult for the kid. So to make the kid's life a little bit easier, you start giving the Xbox, the PlayStation, the phones at too early of an age. And now you're realizing that you made a mistake. You were in a bad place then. I'm thinking of so many of my clients that have gone through divorces and, the pandemic's going on. Next thing you know, they're like, I just gave my kid a cell phone. They're 8 years old. They got TikTok. What am I doing? So there's a lot of regret. There's a lot of stuff that parents can feel bad about to go around. But if you just listen to my last episode, the thing you got to do is you just got to face it. So for all you parents, if you feel bad about it, just face it. Yep, I screwed up. I shouldn't have done this. If I was in a different situation, if I knew better, then I probably would have done better, but I didn't. And just face it. That's it. Now let's get to the part about what do you do I'm answering this question obviously for this specific woman, but it's going to play very well for any one of you that are fighting with your kids. Without giving you a full therapy session, because just like the disclaimer says, this is not therapy, let me give you some nuggets of information that will help you not screw this up and make it worse. First and foremost, you got to confess to your kids that your screen time, your phone use, whatever it is with digital technology that you need to do better at it and that you have not been an example. And there's areas of improvements that you have to work on. So it's very similar to like when a parent says, hey, I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to start eating healthier. And they go buy a bunch of, not clothes, but they go buy a bunch of food, different food, healthier food. They start cooking meals and all the kids are giving them this look like, are you serious? We got to eat this? Like, what is this crap? It's vegetables and like balanced meal. And you get some pushback and the kids aren't happy because for dessert, they think they're going to do dessert. Next thing you know, they get like some sort of like protein cupcake that only has like 5 carbs in it and it doesn't taste that good. That is the same type of effect that you should be expecting from your kids when you come to them and say, listen, this is not a you thing. This is a me and a family thing. This is a family business, and I'm the one supposed to run the family business. And just like any business owner, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to tell your employees some tough things that they don't want to hear. Well, I can tell you from personal experience, if you want people to like you, it's hard telling people hard things that they don't want to hear. My wife has no problem being the tough, hard parent. I prefer to be the cool, chill parent. So if you're one of those parents who are more the cool, chill side and it's really hard for you to get your kid to do things, then you're going to have to make sure that you do this and you got to be on point. So what I'm saying is look at your screen time, no matter what your screen time is, because you may be one of the parents that you're not on your phone that much. Well, whatever it is, you got to tell your kids that you want to get better at that screen time or whatever that struggling thing is that you've been grappling with, that you haven't been able to do better or do good at. Then with your kid, you're going to tell them, hey, listen, for each and every one of you, there's some things that you guys got to work on. For one of your other kids that's too young, doesn't have a cell phone, it may be something totally different. But for the kid in this particular situation, you're going to tell your kid, hey, listen, it's not your fault. I gave you the cell phone 10. Because they'll be like, well, you gave it to me. It's your fault. You're like, you're right. It's not your fault. It's my fault. I gave it to you. Well, why are you taking away? That's not fair. Stacy, she didn't have to have her cell phone take away this and that. Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, this is nothing personal towards you. Here's what this is. I got this to work on. Your brother's got this to work on. Your sister's got this to work on. I'm just saying this thing needs you to work on. And I made a mistake. You shouldn't have had it that early. So because of that, we're just going to make up for it. You're still going to be able to get your cell phone. You're still going to be able to have these privileges. You're just going to have to earn it every week. So to make it really simple for you guys, your kid should have their cell phone solely based upon their day-to-day or their weekly performance. That's it. Giving your kid a cell phone like it's some sort of, like it's food and water, and like it's something that's a requirement that you have to give. If you've already done that, then you've got some work to do, like I was saying. But for most of you out there, if you haven't given your kid a cell phone yet, when you do give them the cell phone, you give it to them with limited time every single day. You review the week. Did they follow the rules? Let's say they're only allowed to have an hour of screen time. And if they go 3 hours of screen time, then it's like, hey, well, I gave you a chance to do it on your own, but let's do it this way. I'll give you an hour of screen time and I'll give you one reminder to turn it in. If you don't turn it in, then the next day you can't even ask for your cell phone because you're going to have to earn it every single day to get it the next day. If you just give your kid, if you give an adult a cell phone that's never had one before, they're going to lose their mind. They're going to be all over the planet, on the internet, all over the social media and stuff like that. It's just too powerful of a drug. Like I said, this is not a normal carrot to motivate someone. This is a carrot you can be addicted to. This carrot gives you dopamine. It gives you all these neurochemicals that you can get hooked on it. And especially if you're struggling in your own personal life or if you're in an awkward social situation, this carrot is like a digital pacifier so that you can just pretend that you're okay when you're really not okay. Every single one of you that are listening to this podcast, you're going to get pushback from your kids. Every single one of you heard me say it's just like eating. If your health is at stake, if your doctor said, if you don't change your diet, you're going to die, and your kids give you pushback, you're going to have to keep on going and pushing forward and making the meals. You can't care too much about what they say. You can acknowledge it. Don't fight with them about it. Just keep it moving. Same thing with the cell phone. If your kids don't like it, say, hey, you don't have to have a cell phone. I was actually just going to take away your cell phone entirely for the rest of the quarter until you get straight A's or whatever your dream as a parent is. You can say something like that. However, I decided to give you this other option. So it's really your choice. I'm either going to shut it all down. You're not going to have it at all. Or you can earn it back over the course of a period of weeks, but it's going to be based upon your day-to-day performance. Or if your kid's a little bit more mature, maybe you want to give them from Friday to Friday, and then every Friday you check where it's at. And if it's not where you guys agree to be, well, then they're not going to be able to have it for the next day. And then the next week, if it happens again, then make it 2 days the next week. So you just want to give them consequences that sting a little bit, but over time it gets worse. But the opposite is also true. If they start to get better and start to turn it in on time for a week, well, then the next week you increase the time to now you can have 2 hours of screen time a day. You just keep on adding more freedom and adding more opportunity for them to grow as they show that they are responsible. So you guys, phone addiction is a real thing? Yes. Do you want your kids to be addicted? No. And how are you going to avoid them being addicted? If you're addicted, you better shut down your addiction or at least show progress on it. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite trying to get them to stop doing theirs. If you're not addicted to your cell phone, then you're going to have the approach of pick something that you need to work on, pick something every single one of your kids need to work on. But the kid that has a cell phone issue, obviously the cell phone is the one that you're going to focus on. Then just judge them day to day or judge them week to week. After every day, after every week, reevaluate and see where they're at. Keep on giving them more freedom on the cell phone and take away cell phone time if they're not turning it in, if they're not being responsible for it. So this is the best way that I found as a therapist throughout all my years to help kids avoid being addicted to their cell phone, or if they're already addicted, to help them pull it back a little bit and have a more healthier relationship with their cell phone. Well, you guys, as always, remember you can follow us on all podcast platforms at OG Therapy. And please go follow SHI, which stands for Social Health Initiative. We're also on Instagram as well. Follow SHI because that's where we talk about all the social health stuff. And also on, not Instagram, but on TikTok. And until next time, be cool.